Welcome to a zone where time is new, except for in gas stations, where space is beyond you, where the mind cannot comprehend. Welcome to the Nut Zone. Today, in the Nut Zone, we will take a look at the life of
Pepperoni, Pacini, Nut.
Pepperoni Pacini Nut, known to his closest friends as Pepe P. Nut. The story of a man who worked his entire life building up his business in the peanut industry, working through the Great Depression to support his family. One day to find out that the thing he worked the most for, peanuts, were something he'd develop an allergy to. This is the story of the Nut Man.
My name is Eric McGarrick. I worked with Mr. Nut, actually. He was a hard-working man, very hard-working. He definitely pushed me to work harder than I wanted to. I remember I would work 10, 11, 12 hours a day just to keep up with him. And he was the kind of guy who you wanted to please. He had a really nice face. Both of his eyes were really nice to look at. And he was impressive to watch. He built up his nut business from the ground up, really, with his own two bare hands, no gloves. He built it up with his own tears, sweat, blood, and his own peanuts. He found his own peanuts. Never bought them, never grew them, just found them. And that's really how he started.
In a recent search through my company's old files, we discovered some shocking found footage of the Nut Man before the peanut. A vile excuse for a man, near feral, living off the land, eating nothing but pine cones. Horrific. But then one day, through a sudden realization that this is no life for him, this isn't what he wants to live through, he went out searching, discovering something new, finding a way to forge his own path. He discovered the nut.
My name is Pepperini Papucci III. Nut, of course, is my last name. I was grandson of Mr. Nut himself, the one who ran the nut factory. And while his tents were never very tall, his stakes were very high in the business. He was the only working member of the family. He was trying to support my father and all 8 of his sisters, as well as my mother, who had lost both of her legs in a freak safari accident. We don't like to talk about it. But he had to work very hard, and it was really hard for him when he found out about the allergy. He only told me. He swore me to secrecy. I could never tell anybody else because it would ruin him. But when he found out he was allergic to peanuts, it broke him a little bit. He would come home and his face would be bright red and his lips would look like he kissed a bunch of hornets. And he'd walk around like an Oompa Loompa. He'd kind of waddle a little bit because his feet were all swollen up and it would hurt to walk on them evenly. And his hands would look like he's wearing oven mitts all the time. And it was really convenient because he could just say to my mother, "I'm just wearing oven mitts now." But I knew he wasn't wearing oven mitts. Eventually, all 8 of my sisters started working in a cotton plant, and 7 of them died there, which made it easier on the family, of course. They didn't have to buy as much food, but it still hurt. It still hurt. It was a tragic time, truly, a tragic time.
Hello. My name is Jean Hach in the father Jesus the 64th. My grandfather was a great rival of Mr. Nut. you see, they hated each other. For no good reason, really. They just had competing businesses. My grandfather runs the best cashew factory in the entire world. Unfortunately, they just started yelling at each other from across the street. Insults back and forth. Just through this rivalry, they encouraged each other to work stronger, to improve their businesses. And while they did not like each other, they were definitely beneficial to each other's businesses.
Hello, I'm Patricia. I'm Pepe's secretary, and I'm here to talk to you today about some of the lesser known, lesser shiny parts of Pepe's career. To start it off, first it was always his ego. It's the ego of a madman that wanted to sell peanuts to everyone far and wide. Not only that, but also our taxes. They were never right. Not only would I not write down numbers, but I wouldn't write them down because I don't understand the concept of numbers. He chose me when I was very young. I'm only 15 now. 15. I don't believe Pepe's a good man. He used to beat people up for peanut money. He belongs in a jail.
This footage of Pepe P Nut may be hard to watch. This is raw footage of him being verbally abusive and lambasting his barely literate secretary, Patricia, over some minor mistakes. To summarize the life of Pepe P Nut, he was a man who worked his entire life just so his family could prosper. But he had his own demons, as every man does. He fought with the darker side of life. And in the end, Pepe P Nut succumbed to his allergy in a freak peanut allergy accident at the workshop.
Can I get a rip, Pepe?
Rip Pepe.
Beautiful.
Rip Pepe.
So, how did you get to know Mr. Nutt?
Oh, well, my Australian cousin sold me into slavery for Mr. Nutt when I was at a young age. But don't tell anyone that. That's off the record.